So, we're going to continue Torah Lamed Chet, Likutei Moharan, Part Dalet. We're going to explain to us that when the person let Hashem lead him and he counts on Hashem, so then he comes back to faith. When you always try to achieve things with your own powers and you don't let Hashem Yitbarach run your life, so you fall to that concept that calls hishtadlut. You try to use your own powers to achieve things, and by doing that, the nature of this world is forcing you to try to put more powers. You said, okay, I'm going to bring money to my house, so I'm going to work. So you look for a good job and you found it. And then you worked for 6-7 hours a day, and then after a while you see that it's not enough. So you have to work some more, and then you have overtime and extra, and then it's also not enough. So then a person is falling to lies and scams and is trying to think how I'm going to make more money. And maybe when Hashem is not in the picture, a person cannot stand in one place. It's all that you're climbing or that you're falling. It's you cannot say, no, okay, I'm religious, it's good for me, I'm going to stay here. You cannot stay in one level. It's all that you're falling or that you're climbing. So when a person is climbing, when he's getting closer to Hashem, when he needs parnasah, he needs money, so he's talking to the Creator about it. He goes to Hashem and he tells him, listen, what I'm going to do, I need money, so I have few options, or I'm going to work, or I don't know what, or maybe I'm going to try to pray on it because I have some other things that I have to achieve in life. I cannot not take care of my family. I have to spend some hours with my family, with my children, with my wife. I need to learn Torah. I need to go to Shiur, Shacharit, Mincha, Arvit. I don't know what to do. So when you go like that to Hashem, so then Hashem is also helping you. The question is what you're going to do with your situation. You're going to take it to hishtadlut, to your thoughts, to your logic, to your powers, to do with it what did you think that's going to be useful for you, or that you're going to take it to Hashem. When you take it to Hashem, so Hashem going to open it for you. So Rabbeinu shown to us that when you lie down, wait till the morning, that in the time of judgments, in the time of constrictions, in time of difficulties, you say, okay, I won't jump to conclusions. I'm not going to try to solve the problem now because I realize that I'm not able. I'm going to let Hashem help me with it. And then you let Hashem run the show. And you say, okay, I'll wait. In the Tehillim, David HaMelech is saying to us, Belachatz oyev. The enemy, he comes in the time of stress. He waits for that moment that the person is going to be in stress, that he won't think right, that he will be under a lot of pressure, and then he attacks. Like the Amalekim, the Amalekites. They're attacking the weak ones that are the last people in the camp, the ones that are weak and tired, and then they're attacking. The Yetzer Hara is mean, he's cruel, he's not kind, he doesn't have no mercy, he's vicious. So you find yourself fighting with someone that is not playing no games with you. So in the time of stress, in the time of crisis, in the times of confusions, that's the dangerous time. I have a friend, I told you that once, that his wife, she wanted to divorce him, and it was a very hard situation, and he fell to a big sorrow and sadness and depression. I told him, go to pray, go to do Bodediyot, and he said, no, I don't have the power, I don't know, it's too sad. So I came to Rav Shalom and asked him to give me an advice. Rav Shalom, of course, told me, tell him to do 6 hours every day. Bodedut. That's the only solution. You don't need to be a genius to say that. What else can a person do except of tefillah, except of prayer? Something else can change the nature except of prayer. What are you going to buy a gun? What's going to help him? Nothing going to help. So I told him, but the Rav is in he's in depression, he's sad, he's not able to talk. So he said, so Rav Shalom answered to me, he said, now it's a time to fall to depression, to sadness. He can fall to sadness after he's going to bring you back home. Now it's time to work. Now it's time to go to the field. You can rest after it. After it. Someone calls you, tells you there is $1 million waiting for you. Say, no, I don't have the power to go. Why go? Collect the money, come back home, and then go to sleep. In the time of stress, in the time of the crisis, a person needs to understand that's the time of danger. When you're stressed, when you're tired, when you're confused, that's the time that the Yetzer Hara are going to try to attack you. So first of all, decide, I'm not moving nowhere. I'm not taking no rush decisions. I'm not going to work out of the stress. First of all, in the days of light, in the illuminated days, then I already accepted on myself that I'm going to stay religious, that I'm going to keep Shabbos, that I'm going to pray every day, that I'm going to put tefillin, that I'm going to do it bodedut. So now in the time of darkness, now in the time of difficulties, I'm not going to change my path. First of all, I know that those things are rules that I set for myself in the days that I was sane, that I was happy, that I was thinking clearly. So now, when I'm confused, I'm not going to move from that place. I'm going to count on myself that my old decisions were right. They came out of my logic. They came out of illuminations, things, the kindness of Hashem that made my brain think clearly and bright. So I'm gonna believe in that first of all. In the days of darkness, we're gonna remember the illuminations that we had before. And then they're gonna change all of darkness, because like we said, the enemy comes in times of stress, in times of crisis. So don't jump to no conclusions. That's the first thing, not to work out of stress. And if a person have the ability to count on Hashem, like we brought that amazing example of Chizkiah the king, that he said to Hashem Yitbarach, I'm not able to fight, I'm going to sleep, it's too much, the war is too much for me, I'm going to sleep, Hashem, help me, fight for me. And it was his confidence, he revealed his faith, he was counting on Hashem Yitbarach, he said to Hashem, I'm not able. That's the real hero. The real hero, it's not the one that is so strong and righteous. A real hero is a person, the Gemara is saying, Gezeu Gibor, Akovesh et Yitzro, the person that controls himself. He is a hero. The hero is not a person that can jump 10 meters in the air or can play with a sword like a ninja, I don't know what. A real hero is a person that he controls. He's got self-control. He's got the power to decide, to think clearly, to say, that thing I want to do. That thing, I'm not doing it. And he's got the power. Not every woman that you see in the streets, oh, it's his new wife. Not every car that drives, it's his new fantasy. Not every house that you see, he have to purchase. Not every person that you see, he have to admire and to worship and to walk after. No. He's thinking with himself, he's looking inside and he's checking, he says, that's not my wife, that's not my car, it's not in my budget, that's not my house, I'm not belonging to this area not for now, I'm going to pray on that, I'm going to daven, if you came to that understanding that you want something like, okay, I'm going to bring it into my Avodat Hashem, I'm going to pray on that thing. I'm going to take it into my Avodat Hashem. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to do it bodeduyot on it. That's a real merchant. That's a real socher. That he thinks. He's not jumping to, no, I have to, I need to, I must. No. Relax. Don't move. And then you reveal your confidence in Hashem Yitbarach. That you're not afraid. מי שמאמין באחד לא מפחד מאף אחד. If you believe in one, you don't afraid of no one. No one can harm you. No one can hurt you. No one can take what belongs to you. No one can take the food out of your mouth. No one can touch your house. No one can take you out. We can see miracles on daily basis. Yosef, now he had a situation with his house. I told him, Yosef, I have a feeling that specific house, it's your house. Don't worry. But the day he had faith, he was praying, but still he also had stress. I have a very long years of experience with those crazy situation, so I can talk from my experience. And Yosef was the one that he and the family, they need to move, so you can understand the stress. But inside all of that situation, I told him, Yosef, we have the feeling that that's your house, that's the house that you like, that's the house that you wanted. It looks good, let's pray for it, let's see. And he said, but the days are passing, the days are moving forward, the time is not stopping. I told him, don't worry. Even in the last moment, you're going to find your house. Hashem will not going to take you out to the street. And he found, and it was the same house and everything. And why? Because Hashem in Barach, He's with you. If you're with Him and if you're not with Him, Hashem is with you. Or no matter what, Hashem is with you always. Now you can see it and you can ignore it. You can be too scared to look at it. Because Hashem is testing you. Because Hashem is testing your faith. Like I told you, there is sur mera v'aseh tov. You need to stay away from bad things. And also, you're obligated to do good things. So, it's also in the physical obligations, in the mitzvot. You're not allowed to curse no one, you're not allowed to hit no one. Sur mera, remove yourself from bad things. And also to do good. You have to give charity, you have to smile to people, wonderful. But it's also in avodat midot. Also, when you work on your behavior, on your attributes, it's also not only sur mera, not only to move away from the bad things, just also you need to do good. It's not only that you need to stay away from sadness and from anger and from jealousy and bad attributes, just also you need to be sensitive and you need to be kind in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your will. And also you need to have faith and to have confidence. Hashem demands those things from people to believe in Him. And Hashem is punishing, so to speak, even people that don't have faith. Al asher lo ha'emantem bi. He's punishing Moshe and Aaron that they didn't believe in Him. What? It was hard for us. I'm expecting from you for more. You that you started to walk in the path of faith, Hashem, He wants you to keep on pulling that light to the rest of the people. And if you're now defect in faith, so Hashem got a problem with you. I made so many miracles for you, so what's going on now? Why now you will not going to count on me? Last month you had a miracle, this is how you paid your rent. Last month you had another miracle, this is how you paid your electricity bill. Month before you had a miracle that passed you through all of the birthdays and I don't know what. And wonderful. And last month before, and this and that. And to Uman, you remember the miracles? Yes. And to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, when you wanted, you remember the miracles? Yes. And when you had to buy new sneakers, you remember that your mother, I don't know what? Yes. And okay, so now, why, when you need to pay your water bill, so you're afraid? Why? Why you're afraid? It's kfirah. You're thinking bad things about Hashem now. The angels have complaints on you. I saw something very, very strong. I don't remember the verse, unfortunately, in Megillat Eicha, that in the time of difficulties, so the prophet is saying over there, he's saying, it cannot be that Hashem done all of those things to us. So who done that? It's a question. It's a question. It cannot be that Hashem done all of that because it's not Hashem's will. So who done all of those things? It's a question. Someone can answer? We're saying Hashem is doing everything. But it cannot be Hashem. Hashem, He gives a power of memshala, power, control to the angels. And He let them lead the world until the border that He allowed them, that He permitted. What that He said that it's okay, they're allowed to do. And more than that, they cannot do. So when a person has judgments on him, even though that Hashem allowed it, it's not Hashem that is doing it to you. What it means is not Hashem. And not milvado. There is nothing except of Hashem. You're right. Hashem got a lot of faces. And Hashem, that it's the kindness of the Creator not bringing those judgments on you. And when you pray, So we're saying, don't give up from the mercy. You need to turn to the mercy. You need to call the mercy. It is Hashem. It's another face of Hashem. It's the angels of Hashem. It's the messengers of Hashem that are keeping Hashem's will. But it's not the mercy of Hashem. It's the judgments of Hashem. So when judgments are coming on the person, it's not Hashem. It's not the kindness. The kindness still stands and exists even in time of judgments. So now if Chas v'Shalom judgments came on the person, don't give up from the mercy. You have someone else to call. Even though that it's the same one, if you're going to look deep inside, you're going to understand that also the judgments are coming out of the kindness of Hashem. Hashem is fixing you. Hashem is calling you stronger, louder, because you couldn't hear Him before. But still, you have someone else higher that you can call. You can always call the mercy of Hashem Yitbarach that is endless. That is endless, infinity, no end to the mercy of Hashem. So in a time of crisis, in a time of difficulty, when they're coming on the person, when there's a complaint on a person that is not respecting Hashem Yitbarach enough, and that he is ungrateful, and then the angels are angry, and they're coming and complaining to Hashem Yitbarach, and they're telling him, listen, that person, he's taking all of the good, and he doesn't remember nothing. He cannot say thank you, he's not appreciating, he's receiving tons of money, and he doesn't give masrot, he doesn't help, he doesn't... Why should you keep on supporting him like that? So Hashem, what are you going to say? You have to say, okay, I allow you something. Go. Make life a little bit harder for him. And then they're doing something. It's not Hashem. Don't give up from the mercy. If you're going to go back to Hashem, to believe that Hashem is kind, to do tshuva, to bring Hashem, the kindness of Hashem, back into your life, to remember that it's all kindness and that you have to say thank you, it's all a free gift. Now it's Parashat Shavua Vayetchanan, begging to Hashem Yitbarach, help us, help us, help us, help us. When you do that, you wake up the mercy again on you, and then you go back from all of the judgments, from the darkness, back to Hashem. When you count on Hashem, and you're not falling into those judgments, even that it's hard for you, you're not jumping to conclusions, you're not working out of stress, you just say, I'll talk to Hashem about it. I'll see. I'm not moving. I'm not taking no rush decisions. I'm waiting. I'll see. I'll pray for it. I'm going to go to the mikveh. I'm going to think about it a little bit. I'll consult. I'll talk to my best friend, to my Rebbe. I'll do something about it. I'll see. And you're not running. By that you reveal your faith. Your confidence in Hashem means your connection to the mercy of Hashem. And you bring back the kindness to hover above you, and to heal you, and to remove all of the judgments and all of the angers. That's what Rabbeinu is saying to us. When you let Hashem Yitbarach lead you, when you keep that verse, Shichvi ad haboker, that you wait until the morning, the sun gonna rise, the kindness. So then all of the complaints are falling, all of the arguments that been said on the person, that they had the power of control on the power of speech, they stopped the person from praying. And then the power of speech come out, the words comes out, B'shir v'shevach v'alel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can praise and sing to Hashem. Like that it's written, Elokim al domilach. When there are judgments, when the Elokim, the name of Hashem, that is the name that reveals judgments, is on top, is in control. So then al domilach. Don't stop talk. Don't stop talking to Hashem Yitbarach. Always talk, always please beg and do tshuva and make confessions and accept good things on yourself. And like that it's written, כמו שכתוב, למען יזמרך כבוד ולא ידום. And then you're going to praise Hashem forever. ואז, and then, ברון יחד כוכבי בוקר וכו'. And then the sun going to rise. The stars of the morning going to start shining again. And then it's going to illuminate. וזהו, and that is what it's written. עומדות היו רגלינו בשערייך. Our legs were standing in the gates of Jerusalem. כי הדיבור נקרא רגל, because the power of speech calls a leg. Like that it's written, כמו שכתוב in ישעיה, צדק יקראהו לרגלו. צדק יקראהו לרגלו. צדק, it's what? Justice. when you justify Hashem, when you say Hashem, you're right, so then you call him leraglo, means like we say on the tefillah, ragleim regel yeshara, that their legs is one straight leg. So this is how we're standing. 18 vayamod. When a person is standing, the Gemara is saying ena midah ela tefillah. When he's standing, he's praying. So the power of speech is to talk to Hashem Yitbarach while you're standing. That's the main power of speech, that you talk when you stand in front of Hashem and you talk to Hashem Yitbarach.
Even in Hitbodedut?
Even in Hitbodedut, it's the best, because if not, so you lose your Hitbodedut. It's reality. There's no rules. Everything is allowed, but the test of reality proves that when a person is sitting, so slowly, he loses his connection, no reception anymore. Like that it's written, Tzedek tedaberun, when you talk and you justify Hashem. Bisharayich Yerushalayim, in the gates of Jerusalem, in the gates of faith, Yerushalayim, Yirah Shalem, Al Yedei Torah, by believing and counting on the rules of the Torah, means justifying Hashem Yitbarach. Keperush Rashi, like that Rashi wrote, an explanation of Rashi, Rabotenu learned it in Masechet Makot, in page Yud. Like that it's written in Pri Etz Chaim, Simeni kechotam al libecha, shal yedei limud Torah balayla, that by learning Torah at night, it means the aspect of learning Torah at night, means trying to figure out what's going on with you in times of darkness. Means not to fall into the darkness and to go to sleep, just to try to understand something, to try to learn something out of the difficulties. Azai, so by doing that, ke'or haboker ole rosh hamalchut, by like this, the light of the sun of the morning, the head of the kingship is rising. That is the power of speech. That is the faith. So you come back to faith. When you talk to Hashem Yitbarach in the time of difficulty, the faith is coming back to you. You renew your faith. ויושבת בזרוע דזעיר אנפין ומקבל את הרשימו שבחזה דזעיר אנפין, we're learning Kabbalah, וזעיר אנפין מקבל הרשימו של, we're not learning Kabbalah, we're reading Kabbalah, ועל ידי התפילה, and by the prayer, נכנסין מוחין חדשים, you receive new wisdom, new brain, והרשימו יוצאין בבחינת תפילין וכולי, like we learned. Wonderful, that's it. Thank you. חזק וברוך.